Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about, all about the zodiac sign Capricorn. And yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Well, anyway, people, the first thing I want to talk about is the personality of Capricorn. Well, Capricorn is a sign that could be introverted, reserved. It is a feminine sign. Capricorns can be rather introspective. They're very good as far as planning and premeditation goes. They generally will not act unless they've thought about something for a long time. Being an earth sign, they are fundamentally cautious and prudent. And Capricorns can often be very ambitious and have very good business sense and acumen. Being an earth sign, Capricorns can be very economical. They generally won't spend. They're really not about spending or being extravagant, but they will, as far as like someone prominent in their life or a family member, say, they will dole out the bucks if it's necessary, though, for those people. Now, the thing about Capricorn, too, is that Capricorn really can be very industrious, very hardworking. They're very methodical people, and also they have a lot of discipline, and they pretty much know when to hold back and when to maybe not hold back, so to speak. They know they generally, when you look at the sign Capricorn, it is a sign that that being ruled by Saturn's about restriction. Capricorn really being very reserved. They could take a while to open up to somebody, to let new people into their life, but once they do, they could be very consistent and loyal companions to somebody. And Capricorn also is a sign that could be very good as far as doing things connected with business. Capricorns could be very good entrepreneurs. They can be very shrewd at business and really could manage very well too. They also can be Capricorns can sometimes be authoritative, and which really, as far as in career and business matters, this can come out very strongly, but sometimes this can come out with people that aren't connected with their business or career. So yeah, that's just something with the Capricorn nature. And Capricorns too, well, they are people that can work very laboriously, and they're very consistent people too. You look at people that are Capricorns, that they have a sun, moon, ascendant in Capricorn. They could be very single-minded. Even though Capricorn isn't a fixed sign, they can all come across pretty close to it, because Capricorns at times can be very one-sided and intransigent. They really can have like that one-track mind. But what this enables them to do is finish a lot what they start, even though it's a cardinal sign. And cardinal signs generally, they could be a little sporadic in terms of their energy, in terms of what they're doing or trying to accomplish. But Capricorn is, I believe, the most consistent of the cardinal signs, and they're more apt to finish what they start as opposed to the other three cardinal signs. So really, anyway, the thing about Capricorn too is that they could be very responsible as well. And you give a Capricorn some kind of position of authority, responsibility, they usually can handle it much better than most of the other zodiac signs. So anyway, well, Capricorn, I want to talk now about the appearance. Well, Capricorn in appearance, they could have, as far as the size, they're generally slender in build, can have generally medium height to tall. The head tends to be long, Capricorn can be dark complexion, with high cheekbones, often a narrow chin. The chest could be narrow as well. The hair inclines to be dark, and even those, it's been stated in a lot of research I've done over the years, I've seen a lot of things and talk to a lot of people and kind of concur with the thought that Capricorns, even if they have light hair, it almost looks like it should be dark. And Capricorns also, they could have a sloping forehead. The nose can be large, and Capricorn, as far as their teeth go, can either be very good, I think, or very bad. Capricorn is a sign associated with teeth. And anyway, with Capricorn too, can often have a long trunk, and the limbs can be the limbs about regular, about medium in terms of their proportion, I would say, as far as Capricorn goes. But the trunk can be longer in relationship to the limbs itself, though. And anyway, as far as any appearance, that there can be a downcast look to Capricorn as well. Capricorn can be really can have kind of a stern and sometimes sad type expression, being ruled by Saturn. So anyway, another thing I want to talk about now, as far as Capricorn goes, is the money. And as far as how they handle money, Capricorns can have very good business acumen and very good financial acumen as well. They could be very pragmatic and practical as far as money goes. Money with Capricorn, they're generally not extravagant. They are people that can save very consistently. Capricorns can be that kind of people if they're not in business, even if they're at a regular, like say they're a subordinate worker and they're getting a consistent paycheck, they could be the kind of people that tuck away that same amount week in and week out and do it very consistently. But Capricorn can be very ambitious. And and when you're an ambitious person, you can often attain a position of prominence at whatever company you're at. And when that happens, you can be very capable of making a substantial income. And Capricorn, being an earth sign, often can do that often due to their business sense and being very business savvy. So Capricorn generally won't relinquish their funds to people, but if it comes, as I stated earlier, say if it comes, it's connected with a family member, someone prominent in their life, then at times they'll be a little bit more extravagant and dole out the funds to them, especially say if it's some kind of crisis situation and they need to help out a family member or close friend. So anyway, and the one last thing about Capricorn and money is that if anybody's responsible with funds, it sure would be Capricorn, and they're not ones to take foolhardy or risky ventures. If they're going to invest anything, it would be in a low risk type of thing, such as a stock, for example, such as like Taurus is very similar that way as well. Well, as far as career for Capricorn, the career for Capricorn, they could be very astute, anything connected with business, something being an entrepreneur. Capricorn too can do well, perhaps in government, in politics. Dentistry could be another thing for Capricorn. And Capricorns can often just be very good general workers, just working, even if it's something like just working, say, in retail. Capricorns are very reliable, they're very diligent, and they're the kind of people that would be there for the company day in and day out. Now, I don't have Capricorn prominent in my chart, but many of you may know I have Saturn conjunct the Ascendant. And wherever I had worked in the past, I generally was very consistent. That, coupled with the Taurus Ascendant, of course, made me that model of consistency, I felt. So anyway, another thing as far as Capricorn goes could be something connected with administration, and even I'd say computer programming. Capricorn, a lot of people would find something like that very tedious and just punching in one thing after another, but Capricorn would not have a problem with that generally whatsoever. And also something with troubleshooting computers could be another thing, because Capricorn, is a sign that is very patient, and even no matter how long it takes, they'll often stay longer than the average person to troubleshoot a computer problem. And keep in mind that Aquarius often falls on the second house cusp of a Capricorn, as far as a natal chart goes, or a solar chart for Capricorn. So what I'm saying is natal chart would have Capricorn ascendant, and the solar chart can often would have Capricorn on the cusp of the first, and often Aquarius on the second, like the natal. So, and Capricorns could actually do well despite being kind of conservative personality. Often they could still do well in things connected with computers and electronics, and that is something they could do in terms of generating income. Well, as far as health goes for Capricorn, well, even though Capricorn often is not a sign you would say would be very robust, or looks like they're really healthy, because of they tend to be, a lot of Capricorns tend to be thin and slender in build. They actually could have a very good constitution. It is an earth sign, and their recuperative powers can be very good as well. As far as anything connected, as far as health issues, well, the knees could be problematic. A Capricorn may get scars to the knees. Broken kneecap could be another thing. Something also as far as bone issues as well, such as bone tumors, broken bones, and even Capricorn can have problems with the teeth as well. Could be some kind of tooth decay, tooth degeneration. Something worn tooth enamel could be another example. And really, they are as far as Capricorn goes, though, as far as their longevity, Capricorn may very well be the longest living sign of the zodiac. I believe it is. And really, they seem to find a way, even though that they don't, as I stated before, they don't always look like they're just the epitome of strength as far as their build goes. Well, it could be very deceptive, because Capricorns can actually find a way to be healthy and find a way to live a very long existence because of this. So, well, last but not least, I want to talk about Capricorn and love. Capricorn and love, well, Capricorn being an earth sign can be very premeditative. If they're going to select somebody, they'll think it over for a pretty good time before making a decision. They're generally not ones to extemporize or be spontaneous or act on impulse. If they're going to choose somebody, it will only be after a lot of premeditation and planning. They could be very cautious and prudent in love. Capricorn can come across to some at least somewhat undemonstrative, maybe even cold or callous, but when Capricorn eventually decides he or she wants that person, and they find that person is going to be a good match for him or her, then they'll be very consistent in love. Capricorn could arguably be the most consistent of all the zodiac signs. It may not be a fixed sign, but the energy could be very consistent. And in being ruled by Saturn, Capricorn can be very responsible in matters of the heart as well, and take the relationship seriously. Capricorns can often appear older than their years, because they can be very mature, and they're willing to take on a lot more responsibility than the average person. Will handle a relationship with a lot more maturity and responsibility than the average person is able to. And the thing about it too, though, is Capricorn often wants someone, doesn't have to be affluent or really very rich, but often somebody at a certain stature in life, and someone that will have some kind of stability financially, so they can at least pay their end as far as the bills go, because that is just something about, and Capricorn is a sign connected with status. So I think that has something to do with it. They want somebody that's career oriented and has goals associated with the career and livelihood. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for All About Capricorn. And stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about, well, all about Aquarius. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.